Welcome to this lecture series in Chemical Reaction Engineering 1. We'll start with the new topic. This is chapter number 7 of Chemical Reaction Engineering by Octave Levenspiel. So we'll study design for parallel reactions, then multiple reactions, introduction, qualitative discussion about the product distribution, quantitative treatment of product distribution and reactor size, instantaneous yield, overall yield and selectivity. These concepts we'll see, and finally we'll solve the problems from exercise. So earlier we have seen single reactions, and it showed that performance, or you can say the size of the reactor, was influenced by the pattern of the flow in the vessel. So for mixed flow it was different, for plug flow it was different. In this chapter and the next chapter we are just extending this discussion to multiple reactions. So we have studied single reactions earlier, now multiple reactions, and show that for these both size requirement and the distribution of reaction products are affected by the pattern of the flow within the vessel. So here also size requirement as well as distribution of the reaction products. So we have to bother about this product distribution also. We may recall at this point that the distinction between single reaction and the multiple reaction is that single reaction requires only one rate expression or rate law to describe the kinetic behavior, whereas the multiple reactions will require more than one rate expression. So single reaction, single rate expressions; multiple reactions, multiple rate laws or multiple rate expressions. Since multiple reactions are so varied in type, so you have lot of variety in this and seem to have little so in common, it may be difficult to find general guidelines or guiding principles for design. Fortunately, this is not so, because many multiple reactions can be considered to be combination of primary type. Okay, so we may think that it is very difficult to find out general guiding principles or guidelines, but at the same time we are fortunate that many multiple reactions can be considered to be combinations of parallel reactions and series reactions. Okay, for that we have already studied the kinetics in chapter number 3. Let us consider the general approach and the nomenclature. First of all, we find it more convenient to deal with the concentrations rather than conversion. So we will prefer in terms of concentration, analysis in terms of concentration and not in terms of conversions, as we have preferred in single reactions. Second, in examining the product distribution, the procedure is to eliminate the time variable by dividing one rate equation by another. So we have to take the ratio of the two rate laws, so that if say dCA by dt and another is dCr by dt, if you take this ratio, dt can be eliminated. So eliminate the time variable and our equation will be resulting into ratios of delta of concentration, dCr by dCA or whatever as per the problem which we are dealing with. We end up with the equations relating to the rate of change of certain components with respect to the other component of the system. Such relationships are relatively easy to treat. Thus, we use two distinct analyses. One analysis is for the determination of reactor size, and another for the study of product distribution. So, two things, two kind of analysis: reactor size determination and the product distribution. The two requirements, what are the requirements? We will prefer the smallest reactor size. So we have to minimize the reactor size and maximize the desired product. So here, for example, parallel reaction, A gives R and A is also giving S. These two reactants are competitive. If R is desired and S is undesired. So our aim should be maximization of the desired product at the same time to minimize the size of the reactor. Sometimes this may run counter to each other. So we have to optimize it, find the best set for this. Finally, we ignore the expansion effects in this in this chapter, so that you can say this epsilon A is 0, constant density system throughout. This means that we may use the terms mean residence time, reactor holding time, space time, and reciprocal of space velocity interchangeably. For epsilon, residence time, mean residence time, space time, holding time, or reciprocal of space velocity is nothing but space time. So we can use these terms interchangeably as per the suitability, as per the data available. And for epsilon A is equal to 0, this doesn't make any difference. Our problem becomes simple. Now we'll see qualitative discussion about product distribution. Here we consider parallel reaction, decomposition of A giving you R and A is also giving S. So these are two competitive reactions. Rate constants are K1 and K2. Here R is desired product, where S is undesired or unwanted product. If I write rate of formation of R and rate of formation of S as dCr by dt is equal to K1 into Ca raised to some constant A1, and dCs by dt is equal to K2 into some constant A2. If I take the ratio of this, dt will be eliminated. So we get Rr by Rs is equal to dCr by dCs, that is equal to K1 by K2, ratio of these reaction constants or rate constants, into Ca raised to A1 minus A2. Okay, A1 minus A2. So difference of the orders is an important term. Now if R is desired, what I should do? I have to maintain this ratio as large as possible. Then only the maximum amount of desired product is formed. Now Ca is the only factor in this equation which we can adjust and control. K1, K2, A1, A2 are all the constants for a specific system at a given temperature. So these are from rate law. For a given reaction, this will be unique at given temperature condition. So K1, K2, A1, A2 we cannot touch. We cannot adjust or manipulate. Only factor in our hand is Ca. And we can keep Ca low throughout the reactor by the way of following means. Either by using mixed flow reactor, maintaining high conversion, increasing inerts in the feed, or decreasing the pressure in the gas systems. On the other hand, we can keep Ca high by using a batch or plug flow reactor, maintaining low conversions, removing the inerts, and increasing the pressure. So the two ways we can manipulate Ca is we can either keep it low throughout or maintain Ca high. For maintaining low, we will prefer mixed flow reactor and maintain the high conversions, increase the inerts in feed, and decrease the pressure for gas phase systems. If we want to maintain Ca high by using a batch or plug flow reactor, that we can attain, or maintain the low conversions, removing the inerts from the feed and increasing the pressure in gas phase systems. So we'll see this variation. This should be K1 by K2. K1 by K2, there is printing mistake in the book. So RR by RS, DCR by DCS is K1 by K2. We have seen this ratio, simple. Now if A1 is greater than A2, A1 is greater than A2, what will happen? This overall order or index will be positive. The desired reaction is of higher order than the unwanted reaction. So desired order, this is the first reaction which is higher than the unwanted. Above equation shows that the high reactant concentration is desirable since it increases R by S ratio. So if you maintain Ca high and this is positive, so this will maintain high ratio, that means high Cr. So R by S ratio or dCr by dCs ratio we want to maintain high. As a result, this ratio is to be maintained high. So that will happen at high reactant concentration. So with reference to previous discussion, batch or plug flow reactor would favor the formation of maximum product R and would require the minimum size. On the other hand, if A1 is less than A2, this A1 is less than A2, then this overall order becomes negative. The desired reaction is of lower order. Now A1 is less than A2, it is of lower order than the unwanted reactor. So this will be negative, means this goes in the denominator. And for getting high concentration or high ratio of dCr by dCs, we need low reactant concentration. So Ca will be in the denominator. As you lower the value in the denominator, you get this higher ratio. So low reactant concentration favors the formation of R. So this will require large mixed flow reactor. So we'll prefer mixed flow reactor for this such cases. So A1 and A2 order of the reactions are also important. Not only the rate constant K1 and K2, because this K1 K2 will have some ratio. This K1 by K2, K1 high we will naturally prefer, but these orders also play some important role when these are A1 and A2 respectively, and we have to see whether A1 is greater than A2, A1 is less than A2. If A1 is equal to A2, same. So what happens? Ca raised to 0, 0 order. The two reactions are of the same order, and hence the product distribution is fixed only by K1 and K2. So Ca raised to 0. This is 1. So K1 by K2 will decide the product distribution alone, and it is unaffected by the reactor of. Then you are not manipulating Ca. Ca is not required to be manipulated. So in that case, whatever type of reactor you use, that doesn't matter. So you will choose your choice of reactor based on other considerations, not with respect to A1 and A2. So RR by RS, dCr by ds will be equal to K1 by K2, and that is constant value, because for a given reaction K1 and K2 will be constant. We also may control the product distribution by varying K2 by K1 ratio. This can be done in two ways. So this ratio you can vary here by changing the temperature level of the operation. If the activation energy of the two reactions are different, K2 by K1 can be made to vary. So activation energies will be different for two different reactions, and if they are reasonably different, then changing the temperature level can help us. Okay. Second, by using a catalyst. One of the most important features of catalyst is its selectivity in depressing or accelerating the specific reactions. So we'll define this term selectivity very soon. So either it will favor certain reaction or it will kill certain reaction. This may be, so for earlier reaction A gives R and A gives S, R is desired. So what you will prefer? You will prefer either a catalyst which will accelerate our first reaction or depress second reaction. This may be a much more effective way of controlling the product distribution than any other methods discussed so far. So using catalyst is the easiest and best way. So Catalyst and catalytic reaction engineering, catalytic reactors are most important topics, and mostly the catalytic reactions are conducted in industrial operation. As far as possible, it is preferred. That also depends on so many things: which catalyst is required, cost of the catalyst involved, benefit of the catalyst, and comparison with the cost, that is overall economics. So all these things are important, but you should keep in mind, rather than changing the temperature levels and adjusting K1 by K2 or K2 by K1, this ratio, using a catalyst, suitable catalyst, is the most preferred and most effective way. Now when we have two or more reactants, we have seen A gives R and A gives S, only one reactant was there. When we have two or more reactants, combination of high and low reactant concentrations can be obtained by controlling the concentration of feed material. So you have to control the concentration of feed material by having certain components in excess, or by using the correct contacting pattern of the reacting fluids. The figures which we will discuss now illustrate the method of contacting two reacting fluids A and B in continuous and non-continuous operations that keep the concentration of these components both high, both low, or one high and the other low. Three possibilities: both high, both low, and or one is higher and other is lower. In general, the number of reacting fluids involved and the possibility of recycle, the cost of alternative setups must be considered before the most desirable contacting pattern can be achieved. In any case, the use of proper contacting pattern is critical. So, contacting pattern is the critical factor. How, we will see. Now here, contacting pattern for various combinations. So here Ca and Cb both are high, required to be kept high as per the overall reaction scheme, rate laws. Ca or Cb, if you want to keep both low and one higher, Ca is higher and Cb is lower, or it can be other way around. That means Ca is lower and Cb is higher, so you have to reverse this. If Ca and Cb are both high, so you will add A and B at once, both to be added at once. So here what happens in the mixed flow reactor? The concentration drops immediately. If Ca and Cb both are low, so here the concentration drops immediately. If both are low, anyway we are having Ca and Cb high. Here both are low, so you add A and B slowly. Add A and B slowly as the level rises. So this is with respect to batch operations, you can say. Here if Ca is high and Cb is low, so you first charge A and then add B slowly, because it is required in low concentration. So these are in non-continuous operations. Okay, that means batch operations. Now here, contacting patterns for continuous flow operations. So either mixed flow condition or plug flow condition. So in a batch reactor, for CA-CB both high, we prefer this. Ca and Cb both low, both are to be added slowly. And if Ca is high and Cb is low, you first charge Ca and then add this slowly. If it is other way around, that means Ca is low and Cb is high, then you charge Cb first and add Ca slowly. Now in continuous operations, here again same case, Ca Cb both high, Ca Cb both low. Here Ca high and Cb is low. So when Ca is and Cb both are high, for plug flow you add it at once. together. Here in mixed flow reactor, series of mixed flow reactors, prefer series of mixed flow reactors as compared to single mixed flow reactor. So A and B you again add at once. If both Ca and Cb are low, so then you use single mixed flow reactors preferably. Plug flow is not preferred. If Ca is high and Cb is low, then A as a continuous stream and B is to be distributed in these mixed flow reactors, not like this at once. B, which is concentration required in low concentration, so you distribute it. So this is a different kind of contacting pattern. If you use plug flow here, again A as a continuous stream and B it is distributed, and there are side entries, multiple side entries along the length of the plug flow reactor. So we'll study problems also based on this. So the concepts will be again more clear to you. Now about the qualitative treatment of product distribution and that of reactor size. Quantitative treatment. We have seen qualitative earlier, now quantitative treatment. So qualitative means just in terms of comparative degrees, high, low and so on. Here quantitative means exactly you will be calculating the concentrations. We will know the numerical values. If rate equations are known for individual reactions, if you know the rate laws, we can quantitatively determine product distribution and reactor size requirements. For convenience, for evaluating the product distribution, we introduce these two terms. This is small phi and this is capital Phi, Greek letters. Small phi, capital Phi. First consider decomposition of A. Let small phi. So now onwards I will call it phi. When I say phi, it is small phi, and whenever we come across the capital Phi, I will mention that it is capital Phi. So when I say phi, that means it is a small letter. Let phi be the fraction of A disappearing at any instant, which is transformed into the desired product. So A is getting reacted, it is consumed, disappearing at any instant, and it is transformed into a desired product R. We call this the instantaneous fractional yield. Instantaneous fractional yield. That at that instant. So for any Ca, this will be phi moles of R formed divided by moles of A reacted. So moles of R formed given formation dCr by dt and dCa by dt. dt cancel out. So reacted means minus sign. So dCr by minus dCa will give me this phi. Ratio is simply moles of R formed and moles of A reacted. Desired product is R. Similarly, if your desired product is another one species, that is S, then moles of S formed by moles of A reacted. Denominator remains same, and here you will write dCs. For any particular set of reactions, the rate equation any set of reaction you will have rate equations, and phi is a function of Ca, concentration of A. So this phi is a function of Ca, and since Ca in general varies through the reactor, so Ca varies through the reactor, phi will also change with the position in the reactor in case of plug flow conditions. So we define this capital Phi as the fraction of all reacted A that has been converted into R. So we call this overall fractional yield, denoted by capital Phi. The overall fractional yield is the mean of the instantaneous fractional yields at all points within the reactor. At all points within the reactor, if there is variation of concentration within the reactor. So this capital phi, all are formed divided by all A reacted. So what is all A reacted minus dCA? If Ca final is some unreacted is still there, then Ca0 minus Caf. All R formed is CRF. So this CRF by minus delta Ca will give you overall fractional yield. Here moles of R formed, moles A reacted, that is instantaneous at any instant, and overall that is considering all points within the reactor. So it is nothing but mean of all the points in the reactor. So this small phi and capital phi, overall fractional yield and instantaneous fractional yield. This is very important definition. We will be using this throughout in problem solving. It is the overall fractional yield that really concerns us, for it represents the product distribution at the reactor outlet. So overall fractional yield we are more concerned with, because that is concerned and it represents the product distribution at the reactor outlet. The proper averaging of phi, small phi, depends on the type of flow within the reactor. Thus, for the plug flow reactor, concentration of A changes progressively along the length through the reactor. So, for plug flow reactor, this capital phi P will write for plug flow. It is minus Ca0 minus Caf, that is the term in the denominator, that is delta Ca, integral Ca0 to Caf phi dCA. So this is small phi to be integrated over the complete range of concentration Ca0 to Caf, and that divided by this delta Ca. So overall fractional yield can be found out from the instantaneous fractional yield. For mixed flow, it is the composition Ca final. Now this in mixed flow, whatever is exit concentration, same is at all points everywhere in the reactor. That is the assumption for our mixed flow reactor model. So this small phi is constant throughout the reactor. So this capital phi m, overall fractional yield, will be simply instantaneous fractional yield evaluated at exit concentration. Evaluated at exit concentration. The overall fractional yields from mixed and the plug flow reactors processing some species reactant A from Ca0 to Caf. So here this can be related, as we know this capital phi P is 1 upon delta Ca, Ca0 to Caf, phi m into delta Ca. If we write this as phi m, and this phi m is nothing but differential of phi P evaluated at exit concentration. So overall fractional yield in the mixed flow reactor is nothing but derivative with respect to Ca of overall fractional yield in plug flow reactor, and at final concentration. It is at final concentration. This evaluated at final concentration. And so if you want to find out phi P now, you have to integrate this. So phi P, integral d phi P is phi P. Okay. And this can be written as integral of phi m. Okay. So phi m is the derivative of phi P at these conditions. So phi m will be the integral, because integral and derivative are, you know how they are defined. So phi m is the derivative of phi p. So phi p will be integral of phi m. And whereas this is evaluated at exit conditions, and for plug flow it is complete range Ca0 to Caf. That means if you know overall fractional yield in one kind of reactor, you can evaluate another. We can predict the yields from one type of reactor given the yields from another. Now if you have series of mixed flow reactors 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n, in which the concentration of A, say Ca1, Ca2 up to Can, the overall yields obtained by summing the fractional yields in each of the n vessels and the weighting these values by the amount of reaction occurring in each vessel. So this phi for n mixed flow reactor, this small phi for first one Ca0 minus Ca1, for second one phi 2 Ca1 minus Ca2. Now here it will be phi n Can minus 1 minus Can, and overall these brackets if you add, this is Ca0 minus Can, first and the last one, and this is nothing but all instantaneous all psi for each reactor. You can say for that instant, if you go on adding all exit concentrations, you get this overall. Can is the exit concentration from the final reactor, and that into capital phi n for mixed flow. So we can write this capital phi n overall fractional yield for n mixed flow reactors in series as this total, which is this one, you can go on adding this, divided by overall concentration difference Ca0 minus Can. Now we'll see the graphical representations for this. For any type of exit concentration, for any reactor type, exit concentration of R obtained directly from CRF is equal to overall fractional yield capital phi into Ca0 minus Caf. R is desired product. So for any reactor type, exit concentration of R. So if we know the overall fractional yield, you can find out this. These figures show how CR is found for different types of reactors. For mixed flow reactors in series, and plug flow reactor. So the best possible condition we want, outlet concentration where CR is maximum. So CR final we want maximum CR. So this you have to find by maximization of rectangles if you are using a mixed flow, or maximizing this area you can say if you are using plug flow. If you are using staged mixed flow reactors in series, then addition of all these areas of the rectangles. So this is instantaneous yield plotted as a function of concentration Ca0 to Caf. Okay, so this area under the curve Ca0 to Caf, this will give you CRF for plug flow. For mixed flow, this delta Ca, that is Caf minus Ca0, Ca0 minus Caf. This is higher quantity, this is lower quantity. If you say Caf minus Ca0, this is minus delta Ca. So this difference anyway. And from exit concentration, you will draw this horizontal line, and this area of this rectangle will give you CRF. So this kind of typical curve you can see here. Mixed flow reactor, single mixed flow reactor requires minimum volume. Stage reactors are there, then your endeavor is to, objective is to minimize this total area. Okay, so we can use the method of maximization of rectangles which we have studied earlier. The shape of phi versus Ca curve determines which type of flow gives the best product distribution. So again these curves are plotted, and the following figures show typical shapes of the curves for which PFR, MFR or MFR followed by the PFR is best. Three schemes: plug flow, or mixed flow, and then mixed flow followed by plug flow reactor. So first you will place mixed flow and then plug flow reactor. These fractional yield expressions allows us to relate the product distribution from different types of the reactors and to search for best contacting scheme. So here first you can compare here at exit concentration. What we want is, we want to maximize this. So if you consider CAF here, so CA final, so this will be the CR in the mixed flow, CR in the plug flow, this complete area, complete this plus this. So this is more, so you will prefer plug flow. If this kind of curve is there, typically mirror image of this curve, then in this case you will have this area under the curve is for plug flow. So CR in the plug flow obtained is this, and in mixed flow total area of this rectangle. So you will prefer mixed flow for this kind of curves. For this kind of curves you will prefer plug flow because it is giving you maximum. Okay, we are maximizing CR. We want maximum CR. Earlier we have used these plots and analyze maximization, minimization rectangles. We have seen earlier also. There our aim was to minimize tau, minimize V. So minimum area was best. Here this is representing CR, which is desired product. So here you will prefer plug flow, here you will prefer mixed flow, and here you first you put mixed flow reactor. It gives you concentration drop from CA0 to CA1. This is intermediate one. So this rectangle area will give you CR in mixed flow. Then it is followed by plug flow. So it will start from CA1 and up to CA final. So this area under the curve will give you CR, and total area will give you the CR. So you will have to check for different kinds of combinations. You can reverse this order and you have to shift this intermediate so that relative sizes you can determine. So this is the kind of combination problem from previous chapter and this one, where we are studying competitive parallel reaction so far. So far the fractional yield of R has been taken as a function of concentration of A and has been identified on the basis of amount of this component consumed, that is based on how much A is consumed. More generally, when there are two or more reactants involved, here only one reactant was there, so it was easy. When two or more reactants are involved, fractional yield can be based on one of the reactants consumed. So either if A plus B, so A and B are the reactants, then the fractional yield can be based on either A or B. On all reactants consumed, both, or on the product form. So three ways. So you can base it on one of the reactants consumed, or total all the reactants consumed, or on the basis of product form. It is simply a matter of convenience which definition is used. So which is convenient for us based on the given data or the problem we want to solve or deal with, we can decide. We have these choices. Thus in general we define phi m by n, this parameter, say m and n, representing these species, as instantaneous fractional yield of m. So later in the numerator, m based on the disappearance of n. In this case it will be R by A. So phi of R by A, instantaneous fractional yield of R based on A, and in general it is M by N, instantaneous fractional yield of M based on N. The selectivity, so we have another term which is often used in place of fractional yield. So it is defined as selectivity is moles of desired product form, moles of desired product form divided by moles of undesired material form. So in the numerator you have moles of desired product and here moles of undesired product. So if R is preferred, R is desired product, so moles of R formed and S is undesired, so moles of S formed. So it is selectivity, and depending on the desired product it will be, if R is desired, selectivity for R should be high. Now we'll see this example. Actually this is solved example. We'll discuss it quickly because here I want to explain you the concept for qualitative treatment. So at times few solved examples also will be explained to you, and otherwise solved examples are left for you. Desired liquid phase reaction A plus B giving you R plus T, rate constant is K1. So we can write dCr by dt and same as dCt by dt. Stoichiometry is 1 mole is to 1 mole, and this is given as K1 Ca raised to 1.5 Cb raised to 0.3. This we know, rate law, is accompanied by unwanted side reaction. What is that reaction? A plus B also gives, is another reaction with rate constant K2, so it gives S and U. Okay, so rate of formation of S, rate of formation of U, this is given here, K2 Ca raised to 0.5 and Cb raised to 1.8. From the standpoint of favorable product distribution, order the contacting schemes from the most desirable to the least desirable. So we have here desired is R as well as T, here S as well as U, both are unwanted. So here if we consider dCr by dCs, this is same as dCt by dCu. This is nothing but K1 by K2, Ca raised to 1.5 by 0.5, so Ca raised to 1. Cb raised to 0.3 by 1.8, so minus 1.5. So this ratio we have written. Now R is desired. Same is applicable for comparing T and U. So if R is desired, we want maximum R. So first thing is K1 by K2, this ratio should be kept as large as possible. Then this Ca raised to 1, order is positive. So this should be maintained high, and this order is negative. So this should be maintained low. So for these parallel reactions, we want to keep Ca high but Cb low. And since the concentration dependency of B is more pronounced than A, this is again, this is more because this is 1 and this is minus 1.5. So it will go in the denominator. So this is to be kept as low as possible. This is to be kept as high as possible. It is more important to have low Cb than high Ca because this is more dominating term. So lowering the concentration of B is more important than maintaining this high. This is in terms of relative degrees, qualitative. The contacting schemes, so suggested contacting schemes from most desirable to least desirable are given here. This side you have most desirable scheme and here least desirable scheme. So based on the previous discussion, so when we want CA high and CB low, okay, so you will prefer this CA high, and these are side entries of C low concentration of B that we have seen earlier. Then next scheme is mixed flow reactor. CA and CB you can maintain. This maintaining low is more important. So this is less desirable as compared to this. Then if CA high and CB high both, if you go like this, this is not at all desirable, and this B is flowing through the reactor and A is now added as side entry to the reactor at various points. Okay, so here CB is high and CA is low. So this will favor, this kind of setup will favor this. This kind of setup will favor this. So we are considering on the basis of different possible setups. So based on previous discussions we know. So let us say, that means if these kind of possible setups are available with us, and how will you decide which is most desirable and which is least desirable? So this is least desirable because we don't want CA low. We don't want both high. So this is also not desirable, but better than this. This both low, this is also not desirable, but will give you the better performance than this. And this is, of course, we will prefer, this is most desirable, and this we want to go ahead with. So this example verifies these qualitative findings. We should also note that there are still other contacting schemes which are superior to and can be best. So these are few representative only. So there are more possibilities of the contacting schemes. For example, if we can use an excess of reactant, or if it is practical to separate and recycle unconverted reactant. So if you have putting separator, which will of course add to cost and operating cost, but whether it is advantageous or not, and those things we have studied in recycle reactors on earlier chapter. So those possibilities are also to be considered. And if you test with all kind of possibilities, you will get vastly improved product distribution. So the best selecting or suggesting the best possible scheme for these multiple reactions, and here we are considering parallel reaction, competitive reaction. If you know the rate laws and the reaction stoichiometry, based on this qualitatively you can suggest the reaction scheme, but it is not just as easy as it looks when we discuss this. You have to consider many more possibilities which are there. You can play with the concentrations of the reactant, one should be used in excess or not, if that is giving you the better performance. Then also combinations of the reactors. We have seen mixed flow reactors in series, or plug flow followed by mixed flow followed by plug flow, and also recycle, and recycle not of just the product stream, that is one possibility, but the recycle of only unconverted reactant after separating the product stream into product and unconverted reactant. So we'll stop here, and we'll continue with the next topics in our next lecture.